Welcome back to the Pudding Pals podcast, where the proof is in the pudding. And this pudding is thick.
Welcome back, girls. How are you?
Hi, girls.
Good.
Today on the couch, we have Heather, myself, Jordyn, Ashley. Heather, how was the lake?
The lake was great. I was a little nervous. We were meeting a coworker of my husband's that I had never met before. They have 3 boys. I have 2 boys. And you never know, are these boys going to be quiet and calm?
Not like yours.
Not like my boys, or are they going to be not quiet and calm like my boys? And within 5 minutes, the middle kid called me bruh. One of hers and one of mine were peeing directly into the lake. 2 of them were using someone else's tubes as surfboards.
A match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven, but it was really solidified when she made me a delicious and strong Aperol spritz, and
Spoke to
she
your
let
heart.
all of our kids play with sparklers, and I was like, we're gonna be friends forever. So it was.
And was everything okay with the sparklers?
The sparklers were fine. I was a little nervous. So where we were, you can buy them at the market. And having not known this family, I told my husband, you know, some parents don't love it when you hand their children mini flamethrowers.
Yeah.
And so I was a little nervous, but she actually said these are really small sparklers.
Oh.
She shamed our sparklers.
She wanted bigger
She
sparklers.
wanted a bigger sparkler, and I was like, we're gonna be friends forever. So we had a
That's
good
so
time.
fun.
Yeah, it was.
Did your kids light her kids on fire?
Nobody was lit on
that's good.
fire.
That's good.
Why are you so shocked?
I really was shocked. I was very shocked.
What are the chances if it was all the pudding pups, the kids, if someone would have been lit on fire?
100%.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even 120.
Probably, yeah. Definitely someone.
Well, I'm kind of jealous of your life. I've spent the whole summer going back and forth to all-star tournaments, sweating like you've never imagined, basketball games, and then back to the all-star tournaments to spend even more money at the snack shack than Disneyland. So that's my summer.
Sounds so fun.
I literally call you when you're on the road
All the time.
at all times. Oh, I'm driving back. Oh, I'm coming back from the field. Oh, I'm going back to the field, you know?
Well, thank God for my Starbucks cup with a high noon filled in it. That gives me some sanity.
But the other day I told her, like, she does, like, the run on coffee, and I understand. Like, going from place to place to place, now I understand why she needs 3 coffees a day. Like, it's wild.
She said, why do I call
I
you
go,
when
"Why?"
you're always at Starbucks ordering a venti iced coffee
always
with no
ordering
sweetener and almond milk? I go, try my life.
Like 3 times a day, I call her and she's like, "Can I please get a venti iced coffee with almond milk?" I'm like, "Again?"
You can't face that kind of schedule uncaffeinated.
No.
You need something to help you out.
I mean, thanks to you, you made Jordyn put her son in 5U All-Stars, which then she told me to put my son in 5U All-Stars. And let's just say All-Stars is very different than rec ball. Like,
A totally different
the rules
world.
are so different. So we get there, we missed a few practices, we were traveling, my bad, but we get there and there's this white line, right? You cannot cross the white line. I'm so used to like walking on the field, giving Declan, you know, water or a snack in the middle of a game. No, you cross that white field, you get disqualified. Well, you know, Jordyn's son makes a play. She's getting so mad. She's yelling at the ump, run, run. She's on the field, literally. Half our team is pulling Jordyn back on the, like, you're gonna get us disqualified.
I crossed the line.
I honestly was like, this is so serious. I just couldn't do it anymore.
It is so serious. Guilty, Danielle. I am guilty of that behavior. I am so embarrassed. But
Are you,
5,
though?
I don't.
You're not at all.
5U All-Stars got me. I mean, today we're talking about something every parent in sports has felt. That sideline pressure, the pacing, that internal urge to kind of coach like it's the Stanley Cup or the Super Bowl from the sideline. But we're so excited to welcome someone who could actually help us. The voice
Maybe not
behind-
you.
I don't know if there's any helping me, but someone who can help everyone else. We're so excited to welcome Jonathan Carone, the voice behind Healthy Sports Parents. Let's bring him in.
Let's do it.
Welcome, Jonathan Carone.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Pudding Pals podcast. We're so excited to have you. Let's introduce ourselves, girls, and let them know our kids' ages and the sports that they're in, so he just gets a better feel for how crazy we can
Our
be.
life is?
Yeah.
I'll go first. I have 3 boys, 9, 8, 6, and all 3 of them play baseball, soccer, football, and basketball.
And that's Ashley.
Ashley. She's
Jordyn?
very sane for having 3 kids. I have 2 boys, an 8-year-old and an almost 6-year-old, and they play baseball, soccer, and basketball.
I'm Danielle. I have a son that plays baseball, basketball, and soccer as well. He's 6. And then I have a daughter who will be starting soccer. She's tried the dance. That was a no-go. And then we have Heather.
Yep, I'm Heather. I have twin boys. They just turned 9 on Sunday, and they both do baseball, basketball. We've tried ice hockey. They're avid skiers. And I would like the record to reflect I'm the only sane one on this couch. These 3 are crazy. I'm the only one. I think you'll find I'm the only sane one. I love you guys.
So before we get into it, I just want to point out that I love that all of your kids are in elementary school and they're playing multiple things. That
Oh,
the
that's a
fact
good
that
thing.
like
Yeah.
all the sports, it's not super specialized in 2nd grade. So on the front end, I'm just going to cheer you on for that because I think that's great.
Yeah.
We're doing something right over here.
Here we go.
Well, Jonathan, so you've built this incredible space for sports parents that's like honest and so helpful. And when did you realize that parents needed this help?
So the first glimpse of it was about 1.5 years before I started it. We were at an 8 a.m. YMCA 7 and 8-year-old basketball game, and parents were yelling like it was the freaking NBA, and they had their iPads out recording it. And like, these kids can't dribble. Like, the ball is bigger than their head, and so that was the initial idea. But then what really pushed me over the edge for it was fall of 24. We were at a soccer tournament for my daughter. She plays rec soccer, and at the end of the year, for 2 years we did this tournament to kind of celebrate the end of the year and also show them what they have to, like, they haven't made it yet. And we had just gotten beat by a team that was a competitive team, so they're a division higher than us. Our girls are playing up, and there was a dad on the sidelines after the game that was yelling at his 8-year-old daughter, and she started crying. She leaned into mom, and like, it just hit me in that moment that I was sad for her, but I was also, the thing that hit me more than anything was that no one had told that dad how to regulate himself on the sideline, or no one had told him like why he was probably feeling the way he was feeling. And so, like, I had sympathy for the girl, but I had empathy for that dad. Like, I think most parents want to do better, but no one's really taught us how. We're all just kind of like raw dogging this as we go through it. And
True.
I just wish someone would have told that dad how to handle himself a little more healthy on the sideline. So I went home and started talking to some people, and that started the idea in November of 24. First interviews happened in December 24, and the podcast started January 25.
That's awesome. I guess this kind of ties me to my next question. So there's the myth that if we don't push them, they'll fall behind, and after every game, my husband and I need a fucking therapy session because he's so hard on my son, and I'm, mama bear, like, he's 5 at the time, he just turned 6. He's 5. It's not the MLB, like, relax. He's going to hate this. And, it's all out of love, because I know when my son does do well, he gets so excited and he's so proud of himself that watching that is like so amazing. So I know that's why my husband does it in some sense, but we're also very competitive people.
Yeah.
But the struggle is real because we fight about sports where like at soccer, I'm like, don't even come to the soccer game because they don't know what they're doing. And you being sitting here is just giving me anxiety. So you just don't even go to soccer. And so you won't even come anymore because it's just,
It's too frustrating.
it's frustrating.
They're
So-
crazy.
So I like don't even know what to say to him. Like how do we balance that, right?
So yeah, I think there's a couple routes we can go here. The first route is helping him understand the reality of this. 2% of elementary age kids go on to play a sport at any level in college. So if there's 100 elementary age kids playing, only 2 of them are going to play Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, or junior college out of those 100. So first off, chances of your kid going to college to play
Slim to
sport
none.
unless
I
you played in
mean,
college
I
are
can tell
probably
you,
not.
he's probably not. He's more of a chance being a Fortnite gamer than a MLB player.
And so the second piece of that is 70% of kids quit their sport by the time they're 13. And the number one reason is because it's no longer any fun. So our job as parents, first off, is to help our kids learn to love the activity of being active. I mean, just in our culture today, we were joking about iPads before we started recording, but like in our culture today, just getting kids to enjoy being active is its own battle.
For sure.
So our number one thing to do is help our kids enjoy being active. And from there, do they enjoy playing the sport they're playing? Help them find whatever it is. And then from there, do they enjoy competing? But kids are going to find, like my daughter's in 5th grade, going into 5th grade, and she's just now getting to the point where she's a little interested in the competition. Like up until this point, we've just tried to keep her playing because I knew eventually it's going to flip in her head. She's got enough of a competitive streak with her little brother that if we can keep her playing, then eventually it's going to come out on the soccer field. So those things I think are the first pieces of it. Like if we can just understand the numbers. You mentioned fear of falling behind. The reality is if our kids love the game and are enjoying playing, 70% of the kids are going to drop off. So are they really that behind at 5 years old if 70% of the kids they're playing with are going to be done by middle school?
Right. And I think that fear is not on the kids' part. It's the parents that
sure.
have that
Yes.
fear. It's
Yes,
the kids
for
don't
sure.
have that
Like,
fear.
so what happens is we start thinking, well, I want my kid to play in middle school. I want my kid to play for the varsity team. And depending on where you live and how big your high schools are, sometimes you do have to start specializing a little earlier because everyone else is specializing. So like one of the things we have tried really hard, I live in a small town in North Carolina. One of the things that we're trying really hard to do is let these kids in elementary school all sample. So there's a group of parents that are like, we are not specializing until we get to middle school because we want these kids to be able to play everything. And because the parents have come together to do that, the pressure's a little bit lower. The chances of you being able to do that in bigger towns, significantly less. But the reality is puberty is the great equalizer. Like I have been this tall since I was 12 years old. I was the giant in like elementary school basketball who could just reach up and I would out rebound everybody because I was a foot taller than them. But when I got to be 15 in 9th grade, I wasn't growing anymore. And so suddenly kids were 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and you can't be a 6 foot tall center in basketball when you're playing against 6'5" kids. So it's all about, I mean, that's the logistical side of it. There's also the emotional side of it as well that we can get into if we want. But if we can just keep kids having fun and playing, then eventually the rest is going to sort it out if they love the sport enough.
Right. It's funny, Jonathan, you mentioned that. My husband had the complete opposite scenario as you. He was the littlest guy for such a long time, trying to keep up. And he hit puberty and he ended up growing to 6'7".
He's a giant.
Yeah, he's the
And-
tallest guy.
I was supposed to be 6'7" and I stopped.
Excelling in basketball, playing football in college for a little. And I think because he was an athlete, his demeanor with my son when he's playing and how supportive he is and his patience and you know, he understands it from an athlete's point of view. It's me who just gets that overly passionate, screaming.
More
yelling.
than I just had to pull her off the 5U All-Star game because she almost got us disqualified for walking over the white line.
I will not sit next to Jordyn at sporting events. I will
I'm
not.
not.
She's like a backseat driver, but a backseat coach.
I am. So definitely, I was just so excited to have you here because I can take all the help you can give me. I wanted to ask.
So here's the thing though. Like before you even get to the question, like I want to flip it on you because like I'm a podcast host too. So I'm going to do that. Like in those moments when you are going crazy by your own admission, like what are you feeling inside of you that's causing you to do that?
Rage.
Okay, so I have a big. It's not rage.
You're competitive.
I hate failing. It's something I've dealt with my entire life. I'm super competitive and I hate failing. So I don't want my kids to ever feel how I do in life when I have failed, when I have missed the last shot. I played junior varsity basketball and when I couldn't serve in volleyball, when I didn't make the goal in soccer.
When you missed the tennis ball.
Yeah, when I missed a tennis ball, I play tennis a lot now. I'm crazy. I'm very competitive and that is what I'm feeling. I don't want them
You're
to
like
feel the failure.
you're projecting onto them.
Yeah.
So I don't. It is projecting, yes, but it's also protecting. You are wanting to protect your kids, so it is out of love for them that you're acting crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Jordyn is the best mom. Everything she does.
When my
comes from
older one
wanting to
scores a
protect.
basket, I'm just like the jumpiest, happiest person because I know how good he feels inside and he lives for those moments.
So I think the first thing we have to acknowledge is that you want what's best for your kid.
Of course.
So it is out of love and of a positive desire. However, there is the projecting. You don't want your kid to feel the way you feel, and you assume they're going to feel the same way, and they're likely going to feel that way because of what you are projecting onto them. So the issue, though, is what is the best teacher? Do they learn more when they make the shot and perform well, or do they learn more when they struggle a little bit and then have to overcome that struggle?
Right.
So in your mind, you might have to reframe it as this failure, air quotes for anyone listening, this failure is actually going to lead to their long-term success. We can't take away the failure from them and bulldoze through it and try to make it better. We have to let them experience it. And what better time to experience it at 5 so they can learn from it now than when they don't really care. It's just like we care so much more than they do.
It's true.
When
We care so much more.
12 and going through puberty and their hormones are going crazy and they're so self-conscious of everything going around. Like if we can teach them how to fail well at 5, 6, 7 years old, then what are we setting them up for when they get to be 12 or 15 or 18? Like this generation of kids, and I have an 8 and a 10-year-old, they are terrified of failing. Like that is statistically proven. It's one of they are so much more scared of failing than our generation. There's a lot of reasons that play into that. But if sports are the safest place for them to fail and learn how to get past it. So by you screaming and you're making it worse on their performance. They're going to play worse the more stressed you are. But B, you're taking away their chance to learn and to grow from that failure.
Can I mention something about the opposite of failing that you talked about in one of your podcasts that I listened to, which I think is equally important, is when the opposite of failing. If they do really well, they hit a home run, their team wins. What I learned from recently listening to you was how important it is not to say, I'm so proud of you, you did great, but instead say, I'm happy for you that you had that experience. And I'm guilty of saying, I'm so proud of you. But the truth is, I want my kids to know that I'm proud of them regardless of the outcome of their sports. I'm proud of them
for just trying.
I'm proud
for just
of them for
having
trying.
the guts and the bravery to put themselves in front of a crowd of people and the potential of failure. I'm proud that you went out there. I'm happy that you had success.
Definitely, and I learned that from your podcast, and that's something I'm going to make a point to implement, because it's an important thing.
The flip side of that is, if we only take our kids to get ice cream after the games they perform well in, what does that subconsciously teach them?
They have to win.
They're only
worthy
rewarded
of treats
when they win, or when they. But if they have a garbage game, if they go out and they try really hard, and it's just not working because they're kids, and we still go out and get ice cream afterwards, what does that teach them? So there's all these little reinforcements that we can do along this journey, because the goal, like what I try to tell everybody, the goal of youth sports is not to win games. It is to prepare adults who have every tool they need to have success in life. And if we can have that long-term approach, it helps us out on the sidelines a little bit, because this U6 baseball game doesn't really mean anything in the long run.
They didn't even know what
I asked my
All-Stars
daughter.
was.
I asked my daughter today. I was taking her to a camp this morning. We lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, the first 4 years of her life, and I was like, Liv, do you remember anything from Knoxville? She's like, the color of our front door. It was some type of blue, and I'm like, okay. I don't remember my T-ball games. I don't know if you guys remember your T-ball games,
No.
but like. No. So your kid's not going to remember the T-ball game, but I can remember in 5th grade when I had to yell at my dad in a basketball game because he was yelling at me so much. Like, I remember the smell of that gym as I was running down the court, black jersey, black shorts, black shoes, running down the court, yelling at dad in a folding chair off to my left because he was yelling at me so much. I remember that a lot more than I remember if we even won that game.
So my husband thinks like you. He says nobody remembers if they won or lost at this game. They remember the ices they had with their friends after the game. And it's so important.
Yes.
But my husband
Yeah, like-
also, for a long time, didn't want my kids to play travel ball. And he, like you, believes that they should play every sport. And who's to say that my 9-year-old is good at football today and that he's going to be good at football in high school? It's just age.
Think back to you guys 5 years ago. What were you into 5 years ago? And is it the same thing you're into today?
No.
So why do we think our 12-year-old should still be into the same thing our 7-year-old they were into when they were 7?
Right.
Right.
So that's just keep going with what you were saying. I just wanted to interrupt with that.
But so we've now recently put them, my older son, on a travel ball team because the level of play that he was playing in rec, he just was getting frustrated because his team only won one game the whole season and he's competitive. But now we're at the point where he's used to having playtime all the time, and being in a more competitive team, he's riding the bench more than he's used to and not being a starting pitcher or what he's used to. So how do I work with him to keep his confidence up now that I've exposed him to a new level of playing?
And how old is he?
9.
9. Okay. So that's still pretty young. The fact that he was wanting to go more competitive, that's the key there. That it was kid wanting to be more competitive, not mom and dad thinking he needed to be. So that's the key there. But 9, it's just a matter of how can he learn to put the work in? Because you're not always going to get the same amount of playing time. Everyone has a role. You can only play certain. So those are good things to learn. And so it's just helping him realize that he's not there yet. Like, I did an interview with Ray Allen, who's an NBA Hall of Famer, and he said the most important thing you can teach your kids is the word yet. You're not as good as them yet. You're not getting as much playing time as they are yet. But if you put the work in, if you keep trying, if you keep doing the extra practices at home, if you keep hitting with dad in the backyard or whatever it is, then eventually you're going to get there, because not everyone's going to be as committed as you are. So if we can teach them that work ethic and that it's not there yet, then imagine if he gets to be 23 years old and he's in the workforce for the first time and he's not in the position he wants yet, as opposed to something where he's just beating himself up because he's 23 and just figuring it out. Like, if that's an idea we can teach them at 9, that's going to serve them their entire life.
Oh, so we have a theory in our house that if they practice 20 minutes a day more than someone else at, like, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, whatever they want to be practicing on, that's how they're going to get better if they put in their own 20 minutes more. So it's kind of like that.
That's not a theory. It's just the way it works. Like not everyone you
Practice.
play against is going to
But
be
I'm
doing
saying
it.
we make them like go if you're going to complain, go practice more.
Then the yet idea will be so strong to them. Like it's going to happen. And again, he's 9. In about 3 years, his body's going to start changing a lot. And if he can continue playing and have the work ethic through puberty when it gets awkward, then he's going to come out of the other side of it so much more ready to perform once he's got more of his adult body, which by 14, 15, he's going to be growing into it. So like if we can teach that work ethic now in fun ways, it can't be like work, grind it out, like Mamba mentality type of stuff at 9. Like that's a great way to burn them out. But like our kids, I think I was telling you guys beforehand, we've kind of implemented, if they do 15 minutes of physical activity, they can get 15 more minutes of their screen time. So we bought these little soccer nets that go on the end of a string with a ball, and my kids are just walking around the house kicking at it. They're just
That's
getting
easy.
touches in. And what it's doing is it's training them in a fun way. There is a legitimate carrot at the end of the stick for them, and it's not boring. They're who can, like, we're in this competition, who can do it the most now. I'm in second. Owen's almost beat me. Liv got the most this morning, so I've got to catch her later today, and then Owen's trying to catch up. Actually, Owen beat me, so I'm in last right now. He beat me at lunchtime today, so I'm in last with the 3 of them. And it's just, does it feel like it's work? No, but it's a way for them to kick a soccer ball so that when practice starts, they haven't gone 3 months without kicking it.
Right.
But it's not feeling like work or training.
I know, Heather, you had a question, a good one about the boys complaining.
And then so I think what you're talking about is I have one son, well, I have twins, but one of them says he loves baseball, he loves it, it's the best thing ever, I love it, but every time it's time to go to practice, he's grumbling, he's groaning, I don't want to go. And then during the actual games also, he doesn't look like he loves it. Like, I'm like, do you love it? I always say to him, like, because we don't make him do it. You know, I'm happy for him to play the drums and, you know, do his own thing. He says he loves baseball, but it doesn't seem like he loves baseball. So I don't know how to handle that.
And remind me the age again?
He's 9. He just turned 9.
9? Okay. Yeah. All right. So I had a 9-year-old. I coached U10 soccer. I coached my son's team this past year. And I had a kid on the team who loved before and after practicing games more than practicing games. He would literally ask me in the middle of a game, hey, Coach Jonathan, can Owen stay after the game today and kick around with me a little bit? I'm like, dude, we're in the middle
Where
of
were
it.
you an
Can
hour
you go
ago?
put that much effort into the game? And
Yeah.
like, he was possibly the most skilled player on my team. And he loved soccer, but his attention span wasn't there yet. And so I kept telling him, like, dude, if you'll just, like, if you can care as much during the game as you do after and before, then you'll be incredible. It's starting to click for him. He went to the high school, the soccer camp at our high school this summer, and he won camper of the week. And his mom's told me he's like in the backyard practicing a lot, and he's excited for the season to start. So it's like part of that's maturity. Part of that is just growing up, and he's 9. Like, why do we expect 9-year-olds to have the attention spans that 18-year-olds struggle to have sometimes? Like, it's just what it is. The other piece of this, what's he doing before the game? Leading up to the game, like, what's a normal routine about an hour to an hour and a half before the game?
You know, he's probably on the couch and I'm scrambling to get his baseball bag ready. I'm the one getting everything together, and then maybe.
What's he doing on the couch?
Probably watching TV. Yeah. Yeah, he's watching TV, which is, he doesn't want to.
So there's some research out
Yeah.
that this is very kid dependent, but it can take 60 to 120 minutes for kid brains to shift from the dopamine fix of, like, if he's watching YouTube or something like that, or if they're playing video games, it can take 1 to 2 hours for their brain to switch from that, like, instant dopamine to the slowness of a sport where they're not going to get those hits of dopamine right away. I had a player on my team this year as well. Like halfway through the season, he just, like, he used to be the kid that, like, worked hard, wasn't that great, but worked his butt off, ran around. Like I was having to pull him back because he's running everywhere. And he had 2 games in a row where he's just like doesn't want to be there, trying to pull himself out of the games. And I was like, Dad, what's going on? Like what's changed? And he was playing Roblox on the way to the game.
Yeah.
And like he was literally on a phone playing Roblox up until he came out to warm up. And so his brain he already has a little bit of ADHD going on in him. It's just like, and his brain didn't have time to turn around and to flip that switch. So I told Dad exactly what I told you guys. So Dad implemented no screens, no games an hour before practice or game. That's the rule in our house. Like before we go do something active, we're all, like we can watch TV shows, but we're not watching YouTube. We're not playing video games.
It's
hour
the short form.
performance.
The long form stuff's okay, but the short form, like I get what you're saying. That's I'm gonna remember
like if they're watching Mr. Beast videos before they're going out and performing, like those are edited to be quick hits and to hold you as long as they can. But the long form, like Nickelodeon or Disney or those things, they're not structured the same way. So having that hour break actually gives them a chance to flip their brain around and get in a position to be successful.
Jonathan, I have a question for you. You said you're a coach. So what's your advice when your kid ends up on a team when the coach or the organization's values and demeanor, morals don't necessarily align with your own families? Like, how do I support my kid without causing drama with the coach and me?
At the end of the day, find a new team. That's the long-term solution. In today's culture, especially where you guys live, there are a billion teams. You can go find one that matches your values more. But I'm not a fan of leaving a team in the middle of the season because you committed to that team, unless the coach is legitimately abusive and like saying things that shouldn't be said to kids that are not age appropriate. Like if they're doing that, that's your cue to leave. But if it's just like, we don't like this, we don't want to be around this, I think you can talk to your kids about what your family values without degrading what other people value. You can say like, that's not what we're going to do, and this is why we're going to be like this. Other people may have other values than us. That's their choice. But in our house, this is what we're going to do. We dealt with that last year with my daughter. There was a parent coach who said she wanted to turn the girls into beasts at 8 years old. And my daughter came home from a game where she didn't perform very well, and we gave it till the next day, but we asked her, like, Liv, like, you look like you didn't care out there. I'm tired of being yelled at. And I was like, oh, okay. And so like we talked about it throughout the fall. I laid in her bed with her multiple times while she was crying because she was having such a bad experience at practice. And we talked about how we were going to keep our commitment because her team only had 10 players and they played 9 at a time. So if she quit, it was going to hurt it was going to hurt her friends. And so she didn't want to hurt her friends. So I told her, like, here are our options. Like, we will find, there were some girls that were on a different team that we go to church with. And so we could get her on that team. It was a 30-minute drive. It was still recreation, but we could get her on that team to play with in the spring if she wanted to keep playing. And she really liked that idea. So that's what we did in the spring. She ended up deciding on her own she wanted to come back to her old team with her friends from school. Some of the parents that were the more out there competitive, they've moved on to more competitive teams. And so we're back with the team that she used to play with. Those families are no longer a part of it. And she's looking forward to soccer in a new way that she's never looked forward to before. And it's because we took the pressure off of her and said, like, I remember sitting there with her. I was like, Liv, I don't think you care about how great of a soccer player you are right now. No, I think you just want to play soccer with your friends. Yeah. I was like, all right, well, we're going to play soccer with your friends. That's all we're going to care about. Because she was 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I just wanted I wanted to do the things that bring her joy. And I think sports can teach those lessons. So if we can keep the joy there, then whatever. So all that to say, if you like at the end of the season, I would find a new team. But when you're in the midst of it, talk about what you value without degrading the other people. because the way you talk about the other people on the team is going to be the permission slip for your kid for what to think or say about them as well.
Right.
One of my first bosses out of grad school told me, what leaders do in moderation, their followers do in excess. So what we say as parents, our kids are going to take that as a permission slip without fully formed brains and say, Mom and Dad are doing that, so it's okay if I go do that, and they're not going to know where the line is.
Right.
Right. Got it. I think, like you had mentioned, you know where we live, there's an excess of opportunities and teams to join. I don't know if it's like that in North Carolina or it's different.
It's like that in any big suburban area.
Okay. But we're seeing, younger and younger kids move on to club teams or travel ball at a much younger age these days. When we were growing up, it just wasn't like that. Is burnout inevitable because of that?
That's such a good question. It depends on how you approach it, and it depends on the kid. I've got a friend who I graduated with, because I live back in my hometown now. Her son is the kid that cannot sit down. So he has been on a travel baseball team and a travel soccer team for the past year. He's going into 5th grade. They're thinking about adding on travel basketball during basketball season as well, because he's the kid that wants to be going. I don't think he's ever going to burn out. His mom, who I went to school with, she was the girl that was a catcher and caught 5 softball games in a single day, all through high school. I remember, she'd come to school with the softball tan, back when you wore shorts to play softball. So she'd have the short tan, the sliding
The
pant
sliders,
tan,
I used to wear them.
the socks, the whole thing. So that was them. And so her son is just like her in that regard. So I don't think he's going to burn out because that's his temperament.
The kid
My
might
kids,
not burn out,
But the
you
mom,
will.
yeah,
Ashley will
are
never
crazy.
burn out. Her kids will be doing travel ball forever, and she'll just
Keep going.
keep going with her coffee.
But like you said, I did it as a kid, so I'm used to that life.
Well, so that's the issue though, right? Because so many parents are pushing their kids into this because it gives them a social group. In our society today, we don't have very many third spaces. So what ends up happening is the ball field becomes the place where people find their friendships. And so God forbid our kid wants to take a break, because then we're not going to see our BFF mama on the field any longer because our kid's not on that team anymore. So it's parents dictating it more so than the kids driving the bus.
I
And
see
that's
that
the
a lot.
That's what's going to lead to burnout more than anything.
For sure.
Yeah.
Those moms like those wine at the practices.
Ashley's baseball mom friends. Jonathan, thank you so much for all your wisdom today. If you want parents to take away, one thing you want them to know about youth sports and their children, what would that be?
The primary goal of youth sports is not to win games. The primary goal of youth sports, that doesn't mean we can't compete. That doesn't mean we don't try to win. If you're playing a game, go out there and try to win it. But the primary goal is helping our kids develop the tools they need to have every success they want to have in life. Whether that's hard work, being a good teammate, overcoming hard things, those are the tools that kids are developing in sports, learning how to fail in safe spaces. So if you can approach these years, most of you aren't getting past 12 or 13. 70% of kids are quitting by then. So just go ahead and wrap your head around, you're only getting 6 or 7 years of this for most of us. And so if we can use this short amount of time to teach our kids what it means to be a good teammate, how to cheer on and support others, how to work hard after a goal, how to fail and keep going, then we will have won. Whatever the scoreboard says is what the scoreboard says. We can't control the scoreboard. There's another team we're playing against. There's other people we're competing against. They might be better. That's okay. What we can control, though, is our perspective and our focus through this, so that when we get to the end of it, we can say, you know what? I've raised a competent kid who has the tools they need to have success, and we still have a good relationship with each other. There's not resentment. There's not anything like that because of how much I pushed them. So much of that's going to be kid dependent, but if we can shift our goals from winning games to raising healthy adults, then we're going to do everything else the good way as well.
Got it.
awesome.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. Jonathan, where can people listen to your podcast, your Instagram?
Healthy Sports Parents, wherever you get it. Facebook, Instagram, TikToks. Instagram and TikTok are where I'm most active, but we're on Facebook as well. Podcast season starts off again in August, runs August through November. You can get that wherever you listen to podcasts, YouTube. Just Google Healthy Sports Parents, click the one you want, and we're there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for
right.
joining
Thank
us.
you so much.
It was awesome.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was so amazing, guys. He's so great.
So great. We needed all that.
I know. Well, I guess we're sticking with All Stars 5U, Jordyn.
Shout out to Coach Rich. We're coming back.
All right, guys. Before we go, can we play a game?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Dare to dip, spill the pudding.
Let's do it.
Never have I ever sports edition.
Oh, here we go.
Or should we say healthy sport parent edition?
Or as Jordyn, unhealthy sports.
I'm working on it as
She's
of now.
learning. She's
Well,
learning.
we'll find out. All right. Never have I ever yelled at a ref from the sidelines.
This week or even?
Just have Jordyn do whatever it is. She's gonna be the one.
Never have I Googled what's offsides during a game. No. Never have I ever threatened the snack shack.
Oh, me. Every time my kids don't listen.
Never have I ever screamed, "Run!" like my kid's being chased by a bear.
Me.
Definitely.
When he's slower than molasses.
Never have I ever bribed my child mid-game with a post-win McDonald's Happy Meal.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
probably. If not McDonald's, something else.
Never have I ever prayed for rain so the game would get canceled so I could just stay in bed all day.
Oh, me.
Definitely. Up, Jordyn.
That was quick.
That was quick. But I knew I didn't have to stand a chance here today. So,
Okay. Well, Jordyn, dare to dip or spill the pudding?
I spill the pudding. I'm one for the truth.
All right, let's do it. Okay. What's a phrase you used for years before realizing you were actually saying it was wrong?
Oh my God. Okay. I know which one it is.
Is it right?
No, I don't think so. Because I used to say, like, don't put the cow before the milk, or don't.
What?
Don't, what is it?
Cart?
Don't, or
Cart
don't,
before the.
what is it?
We might have to Google what you're talking about.
Or like, don't count your,
Don't put all your eggs.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
yeah, don't put, what, is that what it is? Thank you to our producer, Glenn. Glenn, none of us are smart enough. What is this saying?
She's still saying the same
Don't put the
wrong.
cart before the horse.
Okay, and so does that mean, like, don't count your chickens before the
they-
eggs
before they
hatch?
hatch.
Before they hatch.
Okay,
yeah.
but I was saying, like, don't count those horses before the
Well, I think you're talking about cows too. at some
cows,
point in it.
horses.
Don't count the horses before
All right,
their
guys,
teeth
well,
fall
You
out.
guys,
We're
I
done.
say a lot of things
Heather,
wrong,
yeah,
but
I love it.
you know.
We'll teach you, Jordyn.
Anyways.
Patience on the field, saying things correctly, and
We're all a work in progress.
We are, but the best part of us is we all accept each other the way we are.
That's true.
Which, you know, that's the pink house, you know? You gotta find not just the ones that accept you, the ones that unlock the most unapologetic, authentic versions of ourselves. That's the magic of the pudding house. So, cheers.
Guys, cheers.
Mwah.